Mwah. How things going?
It's going wonderful. I got 2 offices in the building now.
Wow.
We're growing.
Wow. So I'm going to talk about capital today. I might point to it. A hard stop.
I drove him here.
Let's talk now because I got a hard stop.
Go ahead. Come on.
Oh, I know this guy right here. Mr. Johnson, yes. Yeah, look.
How you been?
We met at the house, the big house.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's right.
Dry cleaners used to be in.
Okay, yeah.
That one. And so
That's my bigger lot.
what I would love to talk to you about is we can do a lot alone, but if we partner, let's connect. We about to do 4 developments on Bayshore Road, housing developments. Also, I need to connect. I need bank partners.
I believe in me, I know I can be whatever it is he got for me. Ain't no stopping me, cause you know I got it, yeah, little buddy, I got it, I got it, I get it, I got it, I want it, I cop it. You come help me get it, we divvy the profit, they gon' make a deposit. Now tell me who gon' stop it, bet I'm gon' be poppin'.
I see my note back there. First and foremost, I want to say thank you to Charlotte Crown, the president, the board, and all of you who joined us today. Guys, I'm gonna tell you, in this room is so much power. In this room is the power to change Charlotte. I just had to say that because I heard all of the existing companies and the resources that you guys provide. Today I'm gonna talk about a real topic that I really want to touch and drive deep into because it's about how we change lives and how we're grown. We're gonna talk a little bit about small business development, and I'm gonna hit on 3 things, but I wanna give you my disclaimer up front. First, I am gonna talk about God at some point in this conversation because He's ahead of my life, and I would not be here because of it. 2, I'm going to also tell you that I'm going to be real and raw. I'm not the guy that you're going to invite that's going to tell you something that's going to sugarcoat or give you a conversation that may not lead you into greatness. And 3, most important for me, is that by this end of this conversation, I hope that you understand I'm not talking to anybody in this room. I'm talking to me. Just a brief story about me besides what you heard. I started from a resource class. From the 1st to the 6th grade, I was put in a class and I was told I was not smart enough and that my highest level of education would be the 7th grade. Let that sink in as you think about where you are today and where you're going. Never let someone's description of who you can become describe your future. I want to say that and I want to be clear about it because for many years I wore a Superman shirt and it took me going through a leadership class to realize that Superman shirt wasn't the superhero. It was because I was still holding on to a narrative in my ground that labeled me as stupid. So that S meant stupid. But let me tell you what I did to change that. I took off the Superman shirt and I put on eFix Development Corp. That's over 20 plus years of working. When I talked about the topic, I wanted to talk about the habits of building. It was a large, successful business while avoiding pitfalls. Guys, I don't want to talk about large businesses because we can talk about Steve Jobs, we can talk about Elon Musk, we can talk about BET, we can talk about all those corporations, but what I talked to you a little bit about is successful businesses. Success is not about how big you are. If you're building any business, if you don't have faith, if you don't have a reason why you're doing it, I'm not telling anyone to believe in God. I don't push that on anyone. But I will tell you this, everything I've done started off with faith. So you have to really believe in something higher than you and also believe in yourself. And when you're looking at building anything, you've got to understand your why. And that's where that comes out of. So faith and prayer for me is one of the key things that have driven me into success and put me in a place where I'm standing in front of you today. Integrity. When I look into anyone's eyes, the first thing I'm looking at, can I trust you? Do I want to partner with you? Do I want to do business with you? And can I change someone's life through you? Again, it's not what God has done for me, it's what He'll do through me. And that's all based on integrity. So if I can't start a project with knowing I'm going to make sure my KPIs, my SLAs are all done to perfection, why do the job? Preservation, when you're starting a small business, you got to be able to preserve yourself. You got to look at your health and also your team. Everyone thinks preservation is just about you, but it's not. Preservation is about the people around you. It's about the people that you're willing to give all of your time and your efforts to. Every day I wake up, my greatest prayer is, Lord, please don't allow my heart to be hardened against those who you send me to help. That is a deep message because it's all about what we do and the people we impact. Patience. If you ain't got patience, trust me, this business, small business development or business in general is not for you. But most importantly, the rules. If you want to build any successful business, your educational level and what you learn in school, in high school, in college, and after your extended degrees doesn't really matter. What are you doing to impart into yourself? How much time are you spending getting educated on finance, raising capital. Thing. I ask people all the time, if you want to build a successful business, how much you're investing in the key person that's driving that business? Let that sink in for a second. We spent over 16 years going to school getting educated to get a job. But how much time are we spending on how to educate ourselves to move into the next phase of business ownership and creating jobs? There's a difference. And build effective teams. I can't talk about that more importantly. In this room right now, if you're sitting here and you really sat back and listened, all of your resources for everything you're doing, the guy in the back that talked about insurance, make sure we have a conversation after this meeting. I have over 100 properties, residential properties, and 4 commercial buildings. I need insurance. So all of your resources are right here in the room. I also need employees. So when we talk about the veterans, see, I'm always listening. We talk about the veteran opportunities. We create our business, our housing business was started off of, we took guys who could not get jobs, chance to change their lives by giving them opportunity. But second, we also gave them an ability to see that they had a value in our community. Remember I told you about building teams? That was my team. A guy named Anthony, he was homeless for 15 years. He worked with us. He's now housed and he's now operating with us. That's what changing lives is about. When I started talking about it, I told you it's not about what you do. It's about the lives that you impact. It's all about community. Everything I do is about community. I'm a developer that wears a community hat. So if you want to talk to me about the business structure, we can talk numbers all day. I love going through your financial statements and your looking at your capital stacks. But at the end of the day, if you're going to tell me you're going to build something, build a business in the community, and you're not tying back to the community, meaning giving and growing, then therefore that conversation with me stops. So in my core values, community engagement, I want to build strong communities. Second, small business development, bridge line production, doing CIAA promotions and parties. Did I learn anything? Because I learned how to deal with people. I learned how we can integrate and entertain and grow and develop a community. But I also learned I couldn't party forever. PC and network solutions. If you remember, we had the tech boom. I was at Bank of America, had a great idea. I was doing my job, and I knew that my job would never make me wealthy. It would only give me an opportunity to realize I was just that close to being broke. So I realized I wanted to go out and start innovating and being an entrepreneur. So I wanted to do something that at the time with the tech boom that I had the knowledge around. So I started a PC network company. But guess what happened? Innovation, technology, and time changed things. The time changed. PC, everyone could build PCs, and networks became a larger scale monster that kind of superseded me. So guess what happened? That company went out of business. Web development. I mean, how many people do web development now? Nobody raised their hand. Wonder why? Doing small integrated websites phased out for me. The Rock and Run, which is a great event, this event alone changed the North End Corridor. We built a 5K that changed the housing neighborhood called Lockwood downtown, which was the top 25 most dangerous neighborhood to live in America. This one 5K, we ran 5,000 people through a minority community that was 98% Afro-American, 1% Caucasian. And we changed the dynamics of that entire community, but also Camp North End and the Music Factory. Small businesses can impact and take you to a level of greatness. But again, I learned so much from my failures that add to my success. So business pitfalls, failure is necessary. I already talked about it. If you're not willing to fail and be adaptive, then you're not ready to be in business. And it's okay to fail. Because again, I just told you, everything I learned out of those other businesses that failed. My DNA is still was in all those businesses, but those businesses failed, and I learned so much from them. Inability to adapt and innovate. There's a statistic for everyone in this room right now. 85 million jobs will be lost to artificial intelligence by the year 2025. That number was done in 2023, and now they're recalculating that to go even higher. If you're not looking at what you do right now and adapting and looking at ways to innovate, you're already setting yourself up for failure. I've already integrated in my business. I hope you have. Because I'm afraid of artificial intelligence. I really am. I'm saying it publicly. I'm afraid of of the misuses of artificial intelligence can happen. But I'm also embracing right now where we are and where we're going because it's already here. Figure out what you currently do today to make money and how you're building wealth and changing lives. And then figure out what the next innovation to that is. When you look at Steve Jobs, he had a great idea. He didn't have an idea of creating a phone. He had an idea of creating an experience with the phone. Right now, I guarantee you've got a magnitude of iPhones in the room. I didn't get into real estate because I wanted to change people. I got in because I wanted to change communities. God sent me for a mission to change communities, and then he showed me how to entrust and build people, and out of that came eFix Housing. We left eFix Housing because we decided we want to make a bigger impact, and someone had me on the corner of Baseball Road asking me would I buy a commercial and never did commercial, never had a commercial hat, never did a blueprint, would I take on the challenge of going into a marginalized community and taking that on? And I said yes. And that's how eFix Development Corp came. If you want to build a successful business, solve problems. If you're not solving a problem, then you are the problem. If I offend you, I apologize. Come to the next session and we'll do the come by y'all stuff. Strategic decisions, that one guy, that one investor decided just to go out and build a business but didn't vertically integrate and create services, he's still sitting over here and then right now he's out of business. This guy is now flourishing and growing because he's adapting to change, and he's still over here adapting to change. I'm talking to me. I tell you, when I'm talking to y'all, I'm still adapting to change. If you don't remember anything that I'm going to tell you today, all businesses need capital. When you understand how to raise capital, it will change your life. And let me just break down capital a little bit, because you got debt and you got equity. Does everyone understand the difference? If you understand the difference between debt and equity, please raise your hand. All right, most people do. Everyone understands what IRR is? Investment rate of returns. You see, these are things that when you start when you start mentioning cap rate and IRR and debt and equity and global cash flow, those are things that banks sit back and say, I know we can have a conversation on. If you don't know those terms, don't feel bad. The key thing you want to do with that is figure out how to invest in yourself to learn those terms. Because if you want a successful business, we talked about what causes businesses to fail, capital. And the key thing is raising it. And I'll tell you, there is a disparity with minorities in raising capital. We don't have a lot of the relationships that we need to do that. But that is changing, and that can change in this room. Small businesses need to raise capital, and you need to know how to do it effectively. Again, I'll tell you, walking in my dreams, these are the 2 projects on Batesville Road. We got 4 other, we just bought another block on Batesville Road. We're bringing a co-working space. We just told you about the salon, and then we got a housing development project. I'm trying to work on a partnership with someone in the room right now. There you go. That's a deal. But I walked in the room and I'm working on a deal already. If you could only see my dreams right now, your reality would have to stretch a little bit. Think Big, Dream Big is a concept that I put together, and it's changing lives.
Can you talk a little bit more about mindset around failure? Because personally, that's something I think I struggle with.
The question was around mindset and failure. I'll tell you, most of us don't have a mindset issue. Most have an imposter syndrome issue. Because for many years, and even today, someone said, Chris, you own 100+ houses. Teach me real estate. I'm like, okay, where do I start? What can I tell you? No, dude, you did it. So why can't you share the information? What you have locked inside you right now could change everyone's life in this room, but most of us won't even share it. Failure only happens when we don't get up and do anything. If you're not doing anything, you already failed. But I guarantee you, if you overcome the things that are in your past, you have to go back and look at what's holding us back. And 9 times it's not always what people are doing to us, it's what we're doing to ourselves. So many times someone says, I won't come out and speak, I won't do this, or I'm not going to step into this opportunity. Why? It's not because you won't step into the opportunity. You're afraid that when you step into it, you're going to be held to a different level. You're afraid of success. And that mindset is the one thing that holds back a lot of small businesses. We want to be large, but we don't even want to understand being large also means that a lot of things being small has to change. How can you can tell me you want to get into real estate and you want to be me on 100 homes, but you don't even want to change the toilet. You don't even want to go have a negotiation with the tenant to figure out how you can save this tenant and give them a different opportunity, or talk to someone about a house that you know probably can't afford it and give them an education versus selling them a house. Again, mindset's everything. Some got started because of you. Entrepreneurship, business, think big, dream big, be big. It's about that mindset. And being an entrepreneur, you have to look at all avenues and then doing it.
You always lead with love and carry yourself with love, because sometimes you're the only Bible people will ever read.
Guys, that's what we do. I want to tell you a story, because the challenge of small businesses is big. And again, it's not, being successful is not about building a large company. It's about being impactful, intentional, and changing lives. We will change Charlotte. We will change communities, and we're doing international. Right now, we just built my first home in Tanzania, and we're going back again. Invest in yourself. If you're not willing to invest in yourself, you've already failed. Go back and get a job. Invest in your education. Invest in your next step. Invest in your life, because this is not about you. It's about the legacy that's coming behind you. And
Yeah, I'm Mallory Crutch. I'm incredibly inspired. If I have the money, I'm going to find it because I definitely would love to be one of his clients or a mentee or something. I work for a State Farm agent right now, and I'm hoping to have my own one day. And raising capital, being afraid of failure, those are all things that really hit home for me. So I'm looking forward to perusing through all of his stuff and learning what I can find.
Rudy King, Mutual of Omaha Reverse Mortgage.
What did you think about the presentation today?
Well, I loved it. I love his spirit, his humility, and just honesty. You know, he exudes integrity. We need to bring him back because I'd like to hear more.
My name is Lorenzo McNulty. I'm with Legacy Housing Group here in Charlotte. Amazing. I don't think that you could have put out more needed information to the community. His favorite word in the presentation was community, so it's always good to see other like-minded individuals who have the knowledge and are willing to share it.
I'm actually with Keller Williams South Park Realty. What I love about Mr. Dennis is the fact that he's had great experience, he's had setbacks, and he kept going. So I want to be, he inspires me to be a multimillionaire. I got a lot of work to do, but his presentation, his real life stories, and what he's done in the community is phenomenal.
I am Melody Mills Johnson with Renewed Realty International. And I am Ruth Jones, and I'm a realtor with Remax Executive. Chris is absolutely amazing. He drops knowledge nuggets just in simple conversation. I learned so much information that I can't wait to implement.
Of things for me, but also open a door for me to explore opportunities that I know that I need to be working on. So it was very impactful for me.
Presentation went well. I thought it was great. I thought it was a lot of good information that was discussed. You know, all about perseverance, all about dedication, all about being consistent. So I thought it was great.
Also, like the idea of building through the community. It's been one of my biggest things throughout the years. Since I got a chance to go to school, my dedication has been giving back to the community, so I'm just going to have the opportunity. And I see this extends more to the business world as well. So I appreciate the message. Now I want to get to the raising capital. So there's a workshop for that. I will be there because now I want to enter the next phase of working through the community and go back to my old community and build that up. You know, so I appreciate that motivation that was given.
Do you guys recommend this presentation to anybody in your family or small circle?
I recommend it to all of my circle.
All your circle?
Yeah, so there'll definitely be discussion on my way home to the office, talking to some friends of mine. So.
Misha Montgomery. I'm originally from New York. I'm a realtor and I'm also a mortgage loan consultant. I'm licensed in North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Georgia, Texas. It hit home for me, truly, because you have to get through the surface level things in order for you to grow and become who God has for you to be. And sometimes we get stuck in those past conversations, and you know, he just let me know, he confirmed that you can break those barriers and you can reach beyond and accomplish whatever it is you want to. And the main accomplishment for me, my family, my legacy is greatness. So.
Yeah, I believe in me. I know I can be whatever it is he got for me. Ain't no stopping me, cause you know I got it. I got it.